What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream as the Lakers get set to face the Denver Nuggets in LA. Finally back home, man. Hopefully, we can start some home cooking. That would be amazing. But hopefully, everybody's doing good. My bad, I'm running a little bit late. Just wanted to park to go hoop, and I'm a little bit tired. But yeah, we made it. So Lakers Nuggets, man, should be a good one. The Nuggets have been struggling early in the season, which only means that they're hungrier, right? They're hungrier to get a dub. So keys to the game, man. Keys to the game. Obviously, we got to slow down. Jokic. Jokic is a paint beast. And this year we got smaller in the paint. So our paint protection is lacking. We're going to have to slow down Jokic. It's going to have to be done by committee. I think AD is going to have to guard him at times. Marcus is going to have to do his bidding. And we're even going to have to bring out some Montrezl Harrell to do some work. But it's going to have to be by committee, like I said. And also, Jamal Murray is struggling early in the season. You guys remember him in the bubble. He was like one of the bubble heroes. He was going off. We got to make sure we don't let him get going today. Obviously, we all know about everybody else, the role players, right? But those are the main two keys to the game. One from the paint, we got to make sure we slow him down, and one from the perimeter. We cannot let Murray get off from beyond the arc. If Murray starts getting off and then Jokic, is doing what he's doing in the paint and getting everybody involved and doing his thing, we're gonna be in for a long night. What's up, Nemo? What up, brother? He said, Dan, Jokic is gonna be shockingly underpowered tonight. Just watch. Let's see, man. Let's hope for the best. We just gotta slow him down. We can't stop him. The guy is amazing. He has a great IQ, obviously court awareness and great IQ passing, great feel for the game, soft touch around the basket, and he can hit some insane Dirk-like shots. So he's somebody who's well-rounded. We're going to need to make sure that we on him tonight. If he gets any easy buckets early on, then that's going to get him going for late in the game. And now you're in for a long game, right? You're in for the long haul. So we got to make sure that early on we come in, we punch him, and we keep our foot on the throttle, man, and we go all the way. Now, like I said, Jamal Murray has been struggling this season. They have plenty of role players. We can't let Gary Harris get off. Obviously, Michael Porter Jr., one of my favorite young players in the league. We can't let him come out here and get a career high. We can't let none of this happen, man. None of this. He said, Dan, an X factor for the Nuggets is Michael Porter Jr. Need to keep him in check. That's what I'm saying. Michael Porter Jr. has been beasting since his rookie season. And now I believe he started, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe Michael Porter Jr. started. So let's see how those cross matchups go. We're going to need on the offensive end, obviously LeBron and AD is a must. They have to combine for 40-plus points tonight. And on the defensive end, we're going to need everybody from Caruso coming off the bench. He's been exceptional on the road. We're going to need that same kind of energy today at home, especially around the perimeter. They got guys who can get off. So we got to make sure we stay attached to the shooters. Don't double too much. Only occasionally, just take swipes at the ball. But you have to make sure the communication has to be on point, and we have to get back to those shooters. That's the key thing. Because like I said, Jamal has been struggling early. But lately, he's been getting it going, and we definitely don't want Jamal to get it going against us. For some reason, we have such a huge target on our back that, everybody seems to come over here and try to get things going. He said, Great and Plummy is no longer on the team. Grant and Plummy is no longer on the team. Easy win. Not so fast. Nothing's easy in the Western Conference, man. Denver is fighting for a playoff spot, and they're doing their thizzle, man. Like I said, they've been struggling. They're not the same team they were last year. However, if they get it going, teams like to circle the Lakers as far as weak paint protection early in the season. Even though we're number one defensive efficiency rating, our paint protection is lacking. And I think teams circle us on the calendar. They come out here and they try to get easy buckets in the paint. So we got to limit those and also wide open 3-point shots. If we can make them play in between and contesting shots, we'll be straight. He said, Young Elder said AD needs to guard Jokic, no running. No running, huh? Well, we're gonna need AD on both ends of the floor, so I wouldn't say running. So we may not see him on Jokic till he starts cooking, most likely, right? But it'll be interesting to see what how the Lakers come out. What the matchups are looking like. I still expect to see Marcus all out on here. We got Gasol for this reason. He's a big body and he's supposed to make players work to get around him. But they've been going over him and everything. So hopefully tonight, he can make somewhat of a little bit of a difference in the paint. He said Dennis needs to get 20. Yes, on the offensive end, we're going to need everybody. We need KCP shooting stroke back. We're going to need, obviously, Alex Caruso to knock down shots from the perimeter. Trez has to continue being that beast he has been in the road trip because We're gonna need him off the bench as well. They got some bangers down low. They got Paul Millsap, obviously Jokic. They got some bangers down low. So we got to make sure that we do what we have to do early on, take care of the things, execute offensively and defensively, and it's the fundamentals. Little things like hitting your free throws, not turning the ball over as much, and when you turn them over, get out in transition and do what you got to do. Hey, what's up, Justice? How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? He said, we're getting this dub tonight. Kuzma stepping up. I'm calling it first. If Kuzma steps up, it's a guaranteed W, because anytime he produces like he does when he starts off the bench, that's an added bonus for real. He said, DTLF to go. What's up, Justice? Appreciate you, man. How you doing, bro? I'm doing good, man. He said it's going to be a test for Mark. It's going to be a test for the whole Laker team. I definitely have an admiration and a respect for the Nuggets ever since they eliminated the Clippers. To my credit, to my prediction. So they always have my respect just for that. And I know they got a little bit weaker, letting go of Grant, because he's been hooping over there for Detroit. I know this because I pick him up for fantasy basketball every other night. But all in all, I'll say this: the Lakers are the better team, and we should win tonight. But we've been struggling at home. I believe our record is 4-4, if I'm not mistaken, at home. Let's see if we can turn the tide this new year and start off, winning right now. Second month of the year. Let's get things going. Hey, if it isn't my favorite non-Laker fan, Denver Nuggets, baby. What's up, bro? He said, "What's up, DTLF? It's been a cool minute. Hope you're doing well, bro." He said, "This will be a good game. I know this is going to be a great game. I think the key for you guys is to stop the Joker early. Much love and respect." Boy, appreciate you, man. Yeah, the key for us is definitely Joker, because he's your guys' superstar. Like, I could really say superstar. He can control the tempo of the game from the paint. There's not a lot of people you could say that about. He's like a point forward, right? Now, he's not the only key, though, because y'all have some very good role players that could definitely step up. Like I said, Jamal's been struggling this year early, but he can get off at any minute. My score prediction for tonight is Lakers 110 to Nuggets 105. I think it's going to be a really close game unless we can get off to a good early start. And LeBron has been an MVP early this season. If he can, if he can basically wear out the opponent early, because when LeBron starts aggressive, he wears out his opponents, and that takes out their legs because they have to exert a lot of energy defensively. So if he can do that, we're going to be solid, man. Solid as they come. He said Western Conference Finals previews. Could be. You just never know. The West is unpredictable. One thing we know is most likely the Lakers are going to be there. But whoever's on the other side of the Western Conference Finals, who knows? It could be the Nuggets. It could be the Jazz, the way they've been playing. It could be anybody. The West is still stacked. He said, high score for us tonight, Dan, should be LeBron. I mean, I wish it was Anthony Davis, but he's been so inconsistent early on that the one man I can tug on his cape always is LeBron James. King James has been the MVP for us, like I mentioned. Then let's see what happens. If LeBron gets off going aggressively early on, and those wings start taking a hit, then all of a sudden the paint protection has to step up, and now those bigs start taking hits, start taking fouls, start getting fatigued, and now, on the basketball side, on the offensive end, they're struggling because they don't have the same legs. They're guarding a 285-pound beast who can jump out the building still at 35 and is still doing damage, man. So yeah, he said, ready for battle tonight against the Nuggets. Absolutely. There's definitely a team I respect, even though they got a little weaker offensively and defensively by losing Jeremy Grant. They're still a very respectable opponent. Don't be fooled by their record. Again, the West is a tough beast. A lot of people are struggling early on, but every year it shifts around. You just don't know who's going to be there. Thoughts on what Dudley said about PG? I mean, he's spot on. He's spot on. Obviously, the Clippers want to use anything as bulletin board material, right, to inspire their regular season guard. But let's be honest. Let's be quite frank. Paul George hasn't been good in the playoffs since his Indiana Pacer days, if we want to be 110%. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you I didn't want Paul George on the Lakers when he was with Indiana. But I really started figuring that he's an excuse maker and really soft mentally when he got to OKC. And they started making excuses and beefing with Damian Lillard, and they got eliminated. And, you just see the mental weakness. And then again, the next year they get eliminated by Donovan Mitchell. And then he comes to the Clippers and they get bounced out in the second round. And then it's his coach's fault. It's like, mentally, you're weak, bro. I lost all respect for you. From the moment you went to the Clippers, I lost all respect. But you can still see the little traces of mental weakness, the little mental fatigue. Somebody that's mentally weak, you could talk and get in their head and they won't play their game. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Paul George was. He let the outside noise get in his head, and it took him out of his game. It took him out of his comfort zone. And as a result, everybody could smell the weakness. Now he's this fake tough guy that talks crap about everybody and says, oh, everybody wants to rag on me now. It's like, bruh, that's because you're leaking all over the place, man. You're leaking all over the place. Like, get yourself right. But it's hard to get yourself right when you play for a clown franchise. Straight up. I haven't thought of that, Professor 2K, but I'll tell you who my top MVP candidate is, and that's LeBron James. As far as my top 5, I haven't thought of that. I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah, Dan, this is a statement game. We have to come out hungry and laser focused. Lakers need to be all business. The Lakers need to come out here and treat this game like we're playing a playoff contender, because they very well could be. Some teams get off to slower starts early on, and then they get it going as the season progresses. And sometimes they make little moves that make them better. Thing about Denver is, don't sleep on Denver. They have plenty of depth. And anytime you got a superstar like Jokic and an all-star, borderline all-star like Jamal Murray, it's a good team. And you just never know who's going to join the fray tonight as far as, scoring punching power. It could be anybody. Like I said, Gary Harris could get off, Michael Porter Jr., Paul Millsap. It could be anybody, especially since we don't have any rim stoppers in the paint. Last year, they really struggled with our size, because when it wasn't Dwight Howard, it was, we were throwing different, size matchups out there. Jokic was looking at different people. This year, we don't have that many options to throw at Jokic. If we throw Montrezl, he's too undersized. We throw AD, he's going to be tired for that fourth quarter on offense. If we throw Marc Gasol, he's going to be too slow. So we have to kind of do it, like I said, by committee. Jackie says, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Karl Malone lock down Tim Duncan in the 2004 playoffs? Karl Malone? I don't remember that series. Wait, was that the one where Derek Fisher hit the 0.4? I think Tim Duncan still got off, man. If that's I don't remember. The Spurs versus Lakers when Karl Malone, Gary played. I really don't remember that one, unless it was the 0.4 by Derek Fisher. If it was that one, then I say Tim Duncan got off in that series. Yeah, he didn't lock him up. But let's remember that Karl Malone was not in his prime anymore. Karl Malone was like a shell of himself, and injuries were plaguing him and all that stuff. So we're talking about a prime Tim Duncan versus a past his prime Karl Malone. Luckily, we had Shaq. We had Kobe. We had other great role players as well, like Robert Horry, D. Fish, who hit that 0.4. We were deeper. We were the better team for sure. Matter of fact, that championship, I hate even thinking about 2004, because we could have won that championship. And Kobe would have had 6 titles. Shaq would have had 5. Problem is, injuries plagued us. Chemistry, obviously, Shaq and Kobe had that fallout. And it was just unfortunate, the way things played out. But no championship finals loss hurts more than the one versus the Celtics. I cried that one, bro. I cried that finals when we lost to the Boston Celtics when they had just acquired KG, because I really thought we were the better team. If Bynum does not get injured, I guarantee it was a victory, man. So that one hurt the most to me, even more than the Detroit Pistons one. Jameson, thank you so much, my man. He said Lakers need to make sure that Joker doesn't make us look like fools. Ooh, it's a tall task. It's a tall task, man. Let's see what happens, man. But to be honest with you, brother, we need to focus on everything. We need to focus on those perimeter shooters. Like I said, the fundamentals, like boxing out and limiting turnovers. Everything matters, my friend. Everything matters tonight. Maybe we won't stop Joker, but if we can slow him down, hold him to like 30 points, no more than 5 assists, 5-6 assists, that's a big W, because 30 points won't win you the game. But if we allow him to get his 40-point, and then he comes out here and he gets like 10 assists and like 15 rebounds, and he has like a monstrous triple-double on us, and he's able to impact the game on every single level, now you're in for the long haul, because now that means he got other teammates going. Now the teammates are hot. That probably means Jamal Murray has 20-plus points. That probably means like Gary Harris has 15. You know what I'm saying? So he impacts the game on so many other levels than just scoring, and we have to make sure that we slow him down. If we're going to give him everything in the paint tonight, 40 points won't win you a ball game. However, 40 points, 12 assists, and 15 rebounds will, right? Because like I said, now he's got everybody else going. So let's see what happens, man. He said he's so messed up now. Nice, let's go Lakers. Hey, Nemo, take it easy, brother. He said Paul George and Kawhi Leonard isn't on LeBron or AD's level. I agree with that. AD to me is the best big man in the game. You can't say either of those two wings are the best at anything. LeBron still has the edge over both of those put together, let alone individually. Kawhi is a good defender and a good scorer. I'll give him that, even in the playoffs. So that's what he is. But LeBron is better, is more than that. LeBron is a playmaker. He's a great scorer. He's clutch. He's uber athletic, even at 35. He's a bully in the paint. He's one of the best playmakers we've ever seen, a great rebounder, and a great defender. So where Kawhi does like maybe 2 to 3 things well, really well, LeBron James does like 6, 7, 8 things. He's like a perfect like a prototype, man. It's almost like he was built by God to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like all glory to God. But it was like it was like if God could sculpt the perfect player, it'd be LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. There's only 3 that I could call perfect in every aspect. Those players that I just mentioned didn't have any weaknesses. Everybody else, at one time or another had some sort of weakness. Either they couldn't dribble, or they couldn't defend, or they couldn't shoot, or they couldn't rebound, or something. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's very few players that are basically perfect, and LeBron fits that mold. He's one of the rare specimens, and we're blessed to have him. And another day, another dollar for LeBron James, man. All in a day's work. He said, DTLF, I'm hoping at some point you guys can get a reliable big to protect the paint before the playoffs. He said, playoff time. He said, Rob is brilliant. Y'all will get someone. Only weakness I see, the Lakers interior D, and that's it. And that's coming from another fan. So he's being completely brutally honest with us, and he's letting us know, hey, the only way you guys can really, cover up every single hole is by getting paint protection. I agree with you, Nuggets, baby. Absolutely. And if the fans can see it, you can bet your, wallet that Rob Pelinka definitely sees it. And I'm sure he's trying to work something out. But remember, we're the Lakers. A lot of teams don't like us. A lot of front offices don't like us. They hate the fact that we're always winning. So it's hard to make trades. Your best bet is probably the free agent market, unless you have something that they can benefit off, right? I'm talking Taylor, Horton Tucker, Kuz, players like that. If somebody covets a player like that, then they might be willing to relinquish an extra big. So that's the problem, right? To get something great in the trade market, you have to give up something good to great. So that's that's the sad part. And I would hate to see those players go. That's why around late February, early March, when the buyout market starts, right after the All-Star game. Oh, by the way, just announced that there will be an All-Star game. I forgot the date. I forget if they said March 3rd or 4th or 5th, one of those. But there's going to be an All-Star game. So you can expect all the moves to come around that time, right after the All-Star game. That's when free agency, the buyout market opens up, the trade deadline, everything. So at least now we kind of have a date we can circle for when that deadline. And like I said, we do have an open roster spot that due to, luxury taxes right now we can't use, but will open up around the buyout market. So that's the interesting, exciting part. Laker Nation. But if you guys have any questions before I get off, guys, I'm going to go set up for this game. Again, I apologize. I'm doing the pregame a little bit late, but I want to go hoop with the buddies. Just got back. So went straight into the video. He said, Dan, the solution is to take down number 34 from the rafters? What? What are you talking about, Armando? Stop it, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Shaq is always going to stay retired up there, bro. Let's not go there. He said Drummond's going to the Nets if he gets bought out. Probably, Jack. Probably. I wouldn't hold my breath for Andre Drummond. He seems like a net material, like like he's just ready to go and try to win an easy one. So yeah, we'll see. He said, we about to eat these nuggets. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it, Nemo. Let's get it. I'm ready. I'm actually starving right now. I'm probably going to go and give me a bite before I get off. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Any comments, concerns right before I get off? And to whoever asked if I got a new chair, I did. Sorry if I'm swinging from side to side if that makes you a little anxious, but yeah, it's just so comfortable. He said, for our interior defense, we need number. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I thought you meant like take him down from the rafters because he doesn't belong there. I was about to say, no, Shaquille O'Neal, most dominant big man of all time. Might not be the most skilled, but was definitely the most dominant big man. And he's still a bully till today. So he was bullying back then, and he's still bullying today. I wish he got off of our Lakers, though, man. I don't like it when he talks about Dwight or JaVale or anybody who wears the purple and gold, bro. It's like, let them have their time. You had your time. Let them have their time. He said for interior defense, we need. He said, "Hi, Idol. What time the Lakers versus Nuggets start? It starts right now at 7. So make sure you tune in, guys. And that'll be the last question. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If I missed any questions, make sure you show up for that post game recap. That one's always a little more interesting because we get results, we get heated conversations and everything. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you guys for the donations as well. I will see you guys for that post game recap. Go Lakers, baby. Let's eat some nuggets, man. Who got the ketchup? Who got the ketchup?